Everybody. I hope you have your drink of choice. I have tea. It's a little chilly here this morning, not as cold as it has been, but I still like my tea in the morning. Even in the summer, I drink my tea. I have some fun cards today, and I wanted to let you know, did you guys know we have a sale coming up? It's on Tuesday. Yes, and it is a 24-hour sale, and that's it. Hey, Barb. So for 24 hours, almost everything is on sale for 10% off. My newsletter that goes out today at 1 will have all the details in there, and it even lists the things that are not included, but it's almost everything at 10% off. So if there's anything you've been looking at and you think you want, make sure you pick it up on Tuesday when it's on sale. I am excited about today's card. I decided to go back into my stamp sets that I hadn't used in a while, and I pulled out one that I used the small daisy. Oh, are you in Ocean City? Oh my gosh, have fun. I miss those days. Wow. I use the Daisy Lane stamp set, the small daisy, in it all the time. Today I'm going to use the big daisy because I just wanted to have some other idea. That and the stem, I hardly ever use those. So I said, time to use them. So that's the stamp set I'm using today, and it is this one. And I'm going to use this large daisy and this one, the stem. Now, we do have a punch for this one and this one, but I'm not using the punch. I created a layout that uses panels, and I didn't have to use the punch, but you can very easily step it up and use the punches. Oh, you're going to put your Christmas cards together. Hey, Tina, good morning. Glad you're here. Must be that you're feeling a little bit better. So that's the stamps that we're going to use today, and I can't wait to show you what I did. I kept it clean and simple to start with, and then I stepped it up, and then I went to a wow card, and it's easy to do. It's not hard at all, so I figure let's get started and see what we're going to make. So give me a minute to turn these around. Now I'm going to try to do this. I tried doing this the other day with somebody that I saw do it, and it didn't work. It was backwards. And I even had my camera backwards when I had it at the top. But I don't know. I can't seem to get it right. Because I really like to, this thing, I need to make a new one and put it down there. All right, so let me make sure it's straight. There we go. All right. I'm glad you're taking it easy. And I'm happy to see you too. I've been thinking about you a lot lately. There's the card, the clean and simple card we're going to start with. But I will tell you, for the daisy, for this one, I used black. But I'm going to switch it up today, and I'm going to use Misty Moonlight for the daisy part. So here's what I have, and let me move that to the side, and I'm going to pull in a scrap piece of paper because I'm going to off-stamp that daisy. And for this one, it's a really quick and easy card, and it's simple. It's just Whisper White 5.5 by 8.5. Scored at 4 1/4. So let me fold my card and get it going. I have Zoe here with me this week, and we're going to go shopping to Hobby Lobby this afternoon. I still have a few gifts to get, and she's going to help me pick them out. All right, the first thing you want to do is you want to stamp your daisy. All right, so I'm going to pull in my Misty Moonlight. At least I think I am. Oh, it's already popped open. All right. And I'm going to ink it up. All right. Now, you can stamp this straight, but it's really, really dark. So I off-stamped it. Then I couldn't find my baby wipes, so I'm going to use my I don't know what you call this thing, my squeegee. And I take out the center, and then I'm coming in with my Daffodil Delight. And I'm just going to use a sponge dauber and ink up the center. All right. Move that over there. And then I'm going to stamp this right about there. All right, give it a few seconds for the ink to transfer. And there I have it. All right. Then, with my old olive, I'm going to ink up my stem. I just felt the larger flower suited the stem better, so that's why I went with a larger one. Plus, I don't use it very often. And then I'm going to stamp my stem. Now, I want that stem almost all the way up, so I'm going to overlap this part of the flower just slightly, and it should be very, very close like that. And for some reason, I always miss that one. I don't know if it's a dip in my, let me see. No, it's not, it's me. I just have to remember that. All right, so there we have our daisy, and then the only thing we need is our sentiment. And this one was done in black, but I'm going to do this one in the Misty Moonlight. Make sure I've got this going the right way. Get my card base straight. And there's our clean and simple card. But suppose you want to step it up. You got a little bit more time, a little bit more supplies. So we'll go from this to this. All right. So this one, our measurements, the card base is Misty Moonlight, and it's 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. But then I took my image and I created, oops, that's the wrong one. That's for stamping and punching. I created a panel. So I took my Whisper White and I cut it to 2 3/8 by 4 1/2. And again, I'm going to clean my stamp. So I don't, if you have black, you don't need to clean it. But since I have the Misty Moonlight, I'm going to clean my stamp. And I'm going to take and off stamp it. I'm going to take my little squeegee here. It's not really a squeegee, it's a I can't even think of what you call it. I do two, Tina. I wanted something different. And I find if you stamp this in a yellow, you really don't see the petals. So I wanted to do, the first one I did in black, it was way too dark. So I just said, I'll off stamp it. Now this one I'm going to stamp all the way up at the top, like so. And then I'm going to pull in my, hey Jenny, old olive. And let me see if I can get the leaf this time. And again, I'm going to take the top of that and overlap the bottom of the flower just slightly. There we go. I kind of racked it a little bit. You're not supposed to, but I did. So there's our flower. And I'm going to add that to a piece of Daffodil Delight that is 2.5 by 4 5/8. All right. So what I did was I took the image and I created a panel with it. And I'm going to add this to my daffodil like so. All right. I'm going to bring in my cardstock. I'm going to fold it in half. I'm giving that ink a little bit of time to dry. All right, so set that there. To add it, to take it another step further, I pulled out the Misty Moonlight. Oops, I left my scissors over at the other table. All right, got them. The Misty Moonlight ribbon. And I'm going to put that on with my tearing tape. I'm going to move this tea before I turn it over. Put it behind me. I had set it down and it's like, ooh, not a good idea. So I'm going to add my tearing tape to the back. All right, down near the bottom, like so. And let me take off the backs. And I'm going to put this over top down at the bottom. So I'm just adding, I took the image and made a layer, and now I'm adding some ribbon. Hey Barbara. And I'm gonna add those in here like so, and I'm not going to take that off. Oh yes I am. I'm going to take it off because I kept this flat. I didn't know if I had popped it up or not, but I kept this part flat. So let me get my backs off. All right, like so. All right, now this goes on my card, and I'm going to watch my spacing here and here and have it as even as I possibly can make it by looking at it. Oh, well, I need some more glue on there. Forgot that. All right, so it would have stuck, but top would have flapped. All right, now watch my spacing, and I'm not going to push it down till I'm happy with my spacing, and then I push down the one end and hold it and push down the other. The rest of it, I'm going to take and make a bow with my ribbon. And I'm keeping it tiny, my loop's tiny, because I want a tiny bow. That's the secret to getting a tiny bow. Pull it some, not all the way, and tighten it some. And then pull your bows smaller, and then tighten it some more. And you just keep working at it until you're happy. All right, and I'm going to take a glue dot. This side's better, so I'm going to use this side. I'm going to put one on one side of the bow and the other on the other side of the bow, so you kind of sandwich that ribbon so it doesn't pull out. All right, add my bow right in the middle. Now, for my sentiment, I decided to stamp it and use my punch. And it is the label punch. I can't remember. It's some kind of label punch. Don't remember. I need to label my stuff. I can never remember. All right, so I've got that. All right. And this I'm going to put on with dimensionals and a glue dot. The glue dot goes on this side because it sits here, and the dimensionals are there. So then it's not kind of wonky. So let me get my dimensionals out. Oops, and did I? Yep, I did. Hold on. That one doesn't go on there. Take it off. I put it here. And another one down here. And I'm going to take those backs off. And then I'm going to pull in my glue dots again. Let me get rid of some of that. And on this end, I'm going to put a glue dot. That way, it'll stick to my paper on that end. And to finish it off, I pulled out, oh, Label Me Fancy Punch. Thank you, Tina. Yes, I pulled in some of those gold glimmer dots. I love these dots. Oh my gosh, I've used so many of them. And I'm not a gold person, but these go with a lot of different things. Just remember how you take them off can be critical with the backing. See, I tried to pop it off this way, going at it this way like I usually do. Well, that time it came off, but you can separate it from the gold backing, and then you just had a clear blob that doesn't have anything on it. So be careful with that. And I just sprinkled some of those on. And there's the stepped up version. All right. But suppose you have a little bit more time and you really want to have some fun playing. Let's take it to a wow card. And there's what I have. All right, so what I'm going to do is this time I took a piece of the In Color DSP and I took the wood grain pattern, and I'm going to put that on a Whisper White card base. That's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. All right, and then this just goes on like so. So we went back to our white card, but we added a layer of DSP. Now you could keep it with the Misty Moonlight if you wanted. And this is upside down because of the words. There we go. If you wanted the background to be Misty Moonlight, you could leave it at Misty Moonlight and emboss the the panel. So if this is Misty Moonlight, emboss this front panel, and that would give you some interest also. All right. Again, you're using, oops, I thought I'd put that down. Again, you're using Daffodil Delight that's 2.5 by 4 5/8, and we're going to take and we're going to create our image panel again. Okay, so I'm going to take my Misty Moonlight. I'm going to off stamp it. Oh, poo. That won't work. It was sitting cockeyed, so some of it didn't come off. You want to make sure you stamp the whole thing flat, or you'll have pieces of it that are too big or too dark because you didn't take the ink off with one. And I'm going to take my center out. Using my chamois. That's it, chamois. I couldn't get squeegee out of my mind, but it's a chamois. All right, so I've got my center out. I'm going to pull in my Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to ink up the center with my sponge dauber. Do you ever have that happen where you can't think of something? You got one thing stuck in your mind and you can't, well, get it out? Oh, couldn't believe it. All right, I'm going to stamp this one again up close to the top. There's my daisy. The next thing I'm going to take and do is my stem. And I'm going to ink it up. And I'm going to overlap. Well, I missed the bottom, but that's okay. Overlap that a little bit. And I have my flower already done. And we're going to add that to our Daffodil Delight piece that is 2.5 by 4 5/8. All right, let me wave this a little bit while I grab my glue. And I'm just going to create a layered image. So you can easily step things up by adding ribbon, embellishments, layers. So I took that same image and all I did with it was made a layer. All right, I'm not going to put that on yet because I also decided to add another layer. So I took Old Olive and the stitched shape framelits, and I used the largest circle and I cut out the circle. Now I'll give you a little hint. This one I cut out of a piece, and this piece didn't have anything over here. So if you have a scrap, use the scrap, and then you don't have to worry about I'm going to move that before I get it on something. Using a whole piece and it hiding. I definitely need a new one of those. All right, so I'm going to add this to my card base, and I'm going to put it in the center. So you're just adding another embellishment. That's just a layer kind of idea. And I'm going to center it as close as I can get it. All right, and stick that down. Now this is going to go on top of this with dimensionals. So we're adding some dimension to our card base or our image layer to kind of pop it up and bring it front and center. I'm going to cut some more. I don't know if you guys know this, but that Label Me Fancy punch is great punch to use for other sentiments. It's, you know, it's a good size. It'll fit a lot of different sentiments in there. So you might want to check that out. And it goes with the Many Mates stamp set, which is a great stamp set because it not only gives you outside sentiments, it also gives you inside sentiments. And if you're always looking for things to put inside your cards, that's a good one to look at. All right, I've got all those on. It was a lot, but I want to make sure that it, oh, and I missed that corner, doesn't collapse when it goes through the mail. Let me get that corner, because that will be one that collapses. I'm going to take my backs off. I like my cards to arrive to the recipients as close to what they looked like when I sent them out. So that's why I add some extra dimensionals. And I have even used the Fun Foam. I totally forgot on this one to add on the back to kind of keep it popped up. Whoops, almost put that on upside down. And this one goes on, and this time I'm looking at the top and bottom to center it. I'm still keeping it close to the edge, but I want this space to be about the same. So I've got that. Oh, I forgot my ribbon. Darn, darn, darn. I did this on this one too. All right, I'm going to show you how I can fix that. It takes a little finagling, but it can be done. So I took and I put a glue dot on the back of this, and I'm going to stick it under, and I have to kind of go around like so. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut it off. All right. And I'm going to stick a glue dot close to the edge. All right, right about there. Then I'm going to take my pokey tool and I'm going to hold this in place and fold it under. And there you have it. And nobody but you and I know that I totally forgot to do it. So if you ever forget to do that, there's a way around it. All right, I'm going to put my bow on first. I forgot on this one and did the same thing. So, good thing I forgot, because then I could give you a little hint. Sometimes I can just kind of feed it all the way through, but it doesn't lay right tying a bow this way. So, you have to finagle with it too much. So I figured out I could do that. All right, and this is the good side. If you look at your bow, there's a good side and there's a side that's oh so. So I always choose the good side to be up, and I add my glue dots to the back. All right, so I'm going to add my glue dot on each side of the bow, or not, I should say. And I'm going to put that on my card. Then I'm going to take a scrap piece of paper and I'm going to stamp my sentiment down here. like so. I'm going to close this up before I get it on something. I do that all the time. I hate that, where I get my ink on my card. Then I have to take it apart and start again. All right, I'm going to use my Label Me Fancy, thanks to Tina for the name, and I'm going to punch out my sentiment. All right, and I've got that. Put that away and get these pieces off of here. And again, I'm going to add a glue dot to this side, and I'm going to put it on there now so I remember. And I'm going to add dimensionals to the center and the other end. All right. So, like so. And here we go. Take my backs off, and we're on the home stretch for card 3. These cards are so easy. If you are limited time frame, I'm going to slide this one up a little bit. If you're limited time-wise, you know, these cards are great because it's been not even a half hour, and I did 3 cards now. My pieces were all cut, but you could easily cut the piece, like for one, you could make this card in 20 minutes from cutting to assembly. I'm going to put that one out there, and then one of the little tiny ones, there we go. I'm going to put it down here like so. And there's the wow card. So we went from, I'm looking for my Clean and Simple to Stepped Up, I'm trying to pull the blue ones in, to wow, all in 30 minutes. And since I give you the dimensions, it is easy. You can mass produce these really quick and easy. And you can use any color background. You could do this in Melon Mambo and do a Melon Mambo flower. That would be really pretty. Even Flirty Flamingo would be gorgeous. There's not many colors that this wouldn't look good in. If you wanted a fall card, use Cherry Cobbler and your crushed curry in the center. So 3 great cards, ladies. What do you think? I think they look fabulous. And I'm not certain which is my favorite. I kind of like 2 and I like 3. And you can mass produce this by just cutting all your pieces and then going from there. So another idea for using a stamp set that hasn't been around or we haven't seen in a while, or at least I haven't used it in a while. I try to use the stamp sets that I have to show you how you can use your supplies in other ways. Because, I mean, you know, we all have these sets, and it's like, you got to show them love every once in a while. All right, let me get ready. I love this ribbon, Tina. It is so soft. It's a cotton ribbon, but it's really soft. And thanks, Joan. It's easy to tie. Some of it's not always easy to tie, but this is. And like I said, I mean, you could take this card or even this card if you wanted to, and some of our plastic boxes, and you could make a card set to give to a friend. And you could do a Misty Moonlight one, a Flirty Flamingo, what was the other color I said? The Cherry Cobbler for a fall. What others? I mean, you could even do Calypso Coral. So you can change the colors, and you wouldn't have to change your glitter dots, or you could use rhinestones if you have rhinestones. And any sentiment would work. I chose the sentiment from the stamp set because if you got the stamp set, why not use it? I just put smile, but there's friend in there. And you could actually put the best moments in my life happen with you on the inside. Or it's your time to shine. So lots of options with this stamp set. Let me get ready and turn this around. Oh, I never turned on my other light. I don't seem to be bright enough. That's a disadvantage. I sometimes forget when I get my tea. I forget to turn that light on sometimes. So. Oh, wow, Joan, I understand that. Sure, there are lots of things for her ideas if you're trying to get her started. And, you know, my designs vary, but I walk you through it step by step so beginners could easily use the cards. So share away. So. All right, ladies. Well, I promised Zoe we would go to Hobby Lobby to see if I can't finish up my last 2 gifts that I need, and she's going to help me. And I also found on Facebook this morning, they shared, sorry about that, I had a hair in my eye. It's still there. Goodness gracious. I found how to make an origami star using 12 by 12 paper. So I printed out the pattern. And I'm going to teach her how to make it, and then I'll buy paper for her to take home for the kids to do. It works better with one-sided paper, and ours is double-sided, so that's not good. But normally I would use the good paper, but you know, these are kids, and I don't know how well they'll do with it, and so we'll see. But I'll buy some fun Christmas paper, and they can make some stars to decorate their room. But I'll teach Zoe, and then she'll have to go back and teach the others. I will send the video to my daughter so she has it too. All right, guys, have a great weekend. I'll be back in the group on Monday. And I'm not certain what I'm doing. So I have to think about it and see what we're coming. Now, I will not do a video in the group on Thursday evening. It's Thanksgiving. Everybody's going to be with family. So I just figured everybody enjoy your time with family. But I'll be back here on the page next Saturday, but in the group on Monday at noon. So have a great weekend, guys. It's supposed to be lovely. Get outside and have some fun. Bye.